Hey, welcome to my channel. It's me, I'm back. I'm doing a video using my tablet for the first time in 2 months, even though I'm literally getting a BFA and majoring in digital media and art. Off to a great start. Okay. These are the chords I tried. This is the actual cord that comes with the tablet. I thought I broke my freaking tablet, but it turns out I was just using all the wrong chords and just, jamming them in there willy-nilly. Yeah, I was supposed to be using that one. Hi, okay, so that was super embarrassing, but eventually my tablet started working because I actually started using it correctly. Anyways, yeah, so here I am sketching. This is also really embarrassing. This is how my sketches always start. They always start super rough. So then I decided, well, maybe I should draw like an actual person, or like at least use a reference. So I ended up using Billie Eilish. I'm not the biggest Billie Eilish fan in the world. Please don't come for me and like roast me or whatever. I like some of her songs. Like I like Ocean Eyes, obviously. I also like You Should See Me in a Crown, that type of thing. But also freaking like can't listen to Ocean Eyes anymore because long story short, it reminds me of a certain someone. And yeah, but it's a distressing reminder of how we are not really getting along, I guess. Yeah, basically, I know a lot of my viewers are younger, so let me just tell you the down low on dating and relationships. People suck. Everybody is canceled. I like wish I was a rock that had no emotion. Feelings are horrible. And that's also why I'm drawing Billie Eilish, because you know what? Billie Eilish makes some like real sad girl music, and sometimes that's just what your girl needs. Anyways, embarrassing tangent about my lack of a love life over. Let's go back to the artwork and talk about what I'm doing. So I have my messy outline that you can obviously see, but I kind of when I do my second line art layer, I don't really like follow my outline first line art layer really religiously because it's really messy. I usually try and like refine things a little bit. Sometimes I do 3 layers of line art, and each one I refine it more and more. So as you can probably tell, I'm actually kind of like fixing the face so it actually resembles Billie a little bit. And she also has a really interesting face. Okay, so like this may be a controversial thing to say, not sure, but she kind of has a face a little bit like Lil Xan. Like her mouth, I don't know, like protrudes somehow. Like not just her lips, but like her whole like mouth area kind of like sticks out of her face. I have a friend with like a face like that, and low-key Lil Xan also has a face like that, although it looks worse on him. Yeah, sorry. So now I'm just kind of like filling in the skin. So I first, but sorry. I also added a crown because this is kind of inspired by her latest song, You Should See Me in a Crown. What a bop. Anyways, yeah, so at first I did the skin on a multiply, but I actually, because I know a lot of people do skin on multiply, but because, you can just color on top of the line art, but you can still see the line art. But I actually prefer to not do that because multiply makes everything a little bit darker, and then if you actually want to like go on top of it, it gets kind of complicated. It's a little bit annoying. So what I usually do is I will do a layer on normal, and I just put it under my line art, and then I do another layer on top, and I color over my line art. So my technique has changed a little bit since my famous video, how to color over your line art. Also, the reason I had to just redo all that shading you saw me do is because I accidentally did it on the wrong layer. I did it on the line art layer. This is also a problem like, when you're like working with a lot of layers. It gets a little bit annoying trying to figure it all out. So yeah, I'm trying to use a little bit more colorful shading. So here I am, adding color, adding purple, adding blue, doing as I do. Going shady, going wild, that good stuff. Anyways, so remember when I actually used to do tutorials, lol, and I used to like actually give helpful advice? Now all I do is kind of just like talk about my life and complain. This is basically like a video diary. Speaking of my life, some of you may have been like, what have you been doing all summer? Actually, probably no one is asking that because my channel is like freaking dead, but I'll tell you. I went to Japan for 2 weeks with my best friend, which was sick. I like kept a travel journal for reals. Yeah, I know. And I like did sketches and stuff. And I actually filmed a whole video. But the thing is, a 2-week vlog is like so boring. Like, I can't emphasize enough how boring it is. I try to make it interesting with all my footage and stuff because I literally have like 20 hours of footage. But in editing, I just figured out that no one's, like, I didn't even want to watch it, and I literally lived through it. Like, it was my trip. So if I don't want to watch it, how is some, like, 13-year-old from Nebraska gonna want to watch it? It was really boring. And now I understand why vlogs are, like, centered around certain, like, parts of a trip versus a whole trip. But yeah, so I went to Japan. It was crazy. The food's really good. I miss the food so much. I went with my friend and her dad for the first week, and then the second week he left and we were alone at a hostel. So this was kind of like my graduation trip. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, I'm going over the hands, purple. So I don't know if you can tell, but like I did that thing that I was talking about before where I have a layer on top of my line art and a layer under my line art, and I'm sort of now just working with the layer on top of the line art, but I do go back to the layer under the line art. And then I start filling in her hair. I have major hair envy for Billie Eilish. I really want her hair. Super bad. It's like really pretty. I want this color hair, but I went to the salon and I was like, yo, can you give me this color hair? And they're like, it'll be $700. So that was a no for me. So now I'm just going over my line art, kind of. I left some of it untouched in the hair because I thought it looked kind of cool. And then I also took this like cool textured paintbrush that I got from Erin Griffin's paintbrush pack. And I used that to sort of texture the hair because when I used a soft brush, I thought it looked a little too airbrushy and kind of like loose and undefined. Then I added a bright yellow shirt because I know Billie Eilish is pretty well known for wearing bright colors, and a dark red background because I thought, you should see me in a crown. It's kind of like a violent, like not violent, but very confident song, and I wanted to evoke some blood, as you can see, textured paintbrush. And then I did a crown. But because her hair is so light, the crown didn't have a lot of contrast, so I messed around with the layer blending settings a little bit until it was like as noticeable as I wanted it to be. And then finally, I just went in and like adjusted the contrast and the saturation a little bit. A lot of people do this after digital pieces, so if you're like struggling a little bit, I would recommend trying it after you finish painting your piece. It can really save bad pieces and bad color choices by making them look more cohesive. So yeah, that was my real sad girl hours piece. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all sometime soon.